Alrighty, hello YouTube viewers. So I haven't made a video in a minute. Every time I start to, my kids, they make things change pretty much. Um, so since I am pretty much free tonight, I figured why not just, give everybody an update as to like what's going on. Mainly just about my vision. Um, so for new people who have yet to watch some of the past videos, when I was 18, 19, I started to experience vision loss. Not really thinking much of it, just like, I just need to go get a stronger prescription. I go in, my eye doctor, he's just like, what's going on? Did I get into a car accident? Did I get into like a crazy fight? Because my vision changed. And it still didn't like hit me that, my vision was not the same. It didn't. I'm just thinking like, oh, okay, yeah. Like you gotta figure something out, to fix me. He referred me to a couple of surgeons, because he thought that I had cataracts. But it ended up coming out that I didn't. So that journey itself was very long, like pretty much over 10 years now. And I'm still trying to figure all this out. The last thing that I was diagnosed with was optic nerve atrophy. But this surgeon specialist that I'm seeing now doesn't feel as if I have that, which is, to some, it's just like, okay, that's great news. But not really, because with that, it's just like, I don't know what you have. I just know that you might not have this. It's just like, come on, like we gotta figure something out. Um, a lot of people I did share, make a video, post about me wearing bioptic lenses to maintain my driver license, which is something that I still do have. Now, I know my vision is deteriorating because I used to, we're going to back up, I had my regular license, no restrictions at all. And then it went to just, daytime only. And then I had to get bioptics to drive at night. But now it's to the point where I need to wear my bioptics day and night. But the crazy thing about this whole process right here, when I have to start it, is that I have to retake the driving test. I don't get that. Like, I had to take a driving test to get nighttime restrictions for bioptic. Okay, but now I got to turn around and do this all over again for daytime. Like, I don't get it. Like, are they doing this to get more money? I'm confused about it. Why can't they just see, okay, so you already have to wear the bioptics for nighttime. You you had daytime with no restrictions. I don't get why I have to redo the whole driving test. And it's not a 1 day thing. Like you just it's when that starts, then I would share that with you guys. But I pretty much just wear my bioptics majority of the time. Like I've gotten to the point where I gotten comfortable with it. I don't drive as much like I used to. I'd rather other people drive for me. And it's not because I'm nervous. It's more of the fact that people in Ohio, they, these people out here, they drive reckless. Like, I can be going the speed limit, doing everything right, but the person behind me, the person on the side of me, they're all upset because they want you to be you know, 10 miles over the speed limit and stuff like this and stuff like that. And it's just like, come on now, this is how people be losing their life. Like, I'm not trying to get into no car accident or anything like that. But when that when that starts, which is next year, because so when I have to go to OSU um, College of Optometry in order to renew my license. And, I have to go through that whole process. And I like barely was able to read the line um, for daytime only. And it's so crazy because being visually impaired, you really have your good days and your bad days. Some days you can wake up and be like, okay, yesterday that was a little blurry, but today, like, that's fine. I can see that. And that's somewhat how my case is. But I was just telling my eye doctor, like, I wear my bioptics all the time. Because she was saying, like, you know, next year I have to go back to her because in order for me to get on my license for it to say bioptic day, bioptic night, I have to get my license revoked just for me to go through this whole program. It's crazy. But I don't know who I need to contact about this to try to understand the logic. Like, I don't get it. But I do have a couple of programs who, they're helping me, like the Ohio Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities. It's a program. They're helping me, pretty much. I'm not sure if they're going to help me with the funding this time because they helped pay for everything the first time. And I was told that, you know, they won't pay for the funding again, but when we get there, we'll figure we'll figure it out. But I do know that they will probably help me when it comes to getting back and forth to work, which I'm not even stressed about that because I can walk to work. Um, I mean, it might take me an hour, but it ain't nothing wrong for a little bit of exercise. But I don't get it. But I do feel like a lot of people out there who, you know, they might be visually impaired, low vision, still try to shoot to see if you can get bioptics. Just being able to live your life independently, even though it doesn't, you can still live your life catching a bus and stuff like that. But I know a lot of people, they just want to have a car, want to be able to drive and stuff like that. And it's good because you don't have to rely on people and all this and all that. Besides the maintenance and the insurance and the car note and stuff like that, all that stuff is a little too much. But moving on with this journey, it's really interesting. I was talking to somebody on Facebook because I'm part of a couple of groups on there, people who are visually impaired, and a lot of people they just come out and say that they're depressed, and I get it. I tell them, like, I trust me, I get it. It's depressing, especially when you know that it's just like one. I used to have good vision, but then all of a sudden it changed. Like, you want that life back. You want to be able to see what other people are seeing. Um, but I tell people, you have to think positive about it. Don't be afraid to let a person know, like, look, I can't see that. Like, here you go. We already went through this whole process of me explaining to you that this three font that you have, like, I can't read that. Or when somebody try to show you something from a distance, it's just like, come on, really. But try to find humor in it because it is very, very depressing. Because you never know you know what's next. And I really look at it like there's people out there whose situation is worse than mine. Um, and I can only imagine what it is that they're going through. I work at a grocery store, and I come into contact with a lot of people. Um, and since I've started to lose my vision, I started really to come into contact with people who are blind and are visually impaired, which is great. I think God sent these people like my way, not only because they need to go shopping for some food, but it's just like, that way I can converse with them, talk to them, like, get some advice. And it's great. I mean, I met so many people who just like, I woke up and I was blind. And it was just crazy. It's just like, what is going on in the body to like, for one, like, does something stop working? And it's so crazy because my eye doctor told me, the specialist who told me that I might not have optic nerve atrophy, he was saying, they can test for that gene, the genes, to figure out which gene isn't like pretty much doing what it needs to do. But it costs $2,000 just to test each gene. I find that like ridiculous, but I guess we're living in a world to where it's just like, nobody should be able to be healthy, for like to be able to have like a normal life for free. It shouldn't cost an arm and a leg and a couple of toes just for you to, you know, want better for yourself, your life. You want your. I just find it crazy, and I really do feel like insurance companies should fit the bill. I mean, I get it. I understand like how a lot of things are expensive. One, things shouldn't even really be that expensive. Like I just like what all does it take for them to test a gene? Like I don't get it. And then for him to say that it costs like $2,000 a gene, like you have to be kidding me. Like I get it. If I was made of money, if I was just sitting on stacks on top of stacks, I'd be like, let's get it done. Because if I'm able to test all my genes to figure out which one is acting up, I can, share that with people, to say, if you're going through this, more than likely it might be this gene. So go ahead and get this gene tested. But it really sucks because it's just like now it's the waiting game. If he will call me when he called me, like there's no reason for me to continue to see him. I mean, he said that they will call me if they need to see me. But shit, would it be too late? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I try not to think the worst, but it can be kind of hard not to, especially when you're not getting the answers that you need. But through this whole process, I lived my life nasty, as in like just doing sickening things, and I would just look back and just like I wonder, with me drinking, alcohol, was that the reason for my vision to deteriorate? Like, was it because of this? Was it because of that? Like today, like I don't eat meat. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I just there's so many things that I've changed in my life only because I want this process to like stop. Like I be thinking of so much, but I am also thankful that, there's so much going on in the world today to where they're like really helping people out there with disabilities. And that's exciting. That lets me know that you know, something good is out there. Like so if I do become like my vision worsen, like I can't no longer do what it is that I do now, which I often think about that. Like I work at a grocery store and I cut cheese for a living. Like if my vision becomes really bad to where I can't do that, what else can I do? Because I want to work. I don't want to just sit at home. I mean, I have two kids that I need to take care of. Um, but, it's all in God's plan. I'm pretty sure He has something out there for me. Because I looked at Social Security, and the most maximum I could get is like $1,700 a month for SSI. But when I used to cash people's checks for disabilities, and the most that they get is like $700, $800. So I'm just a little confused about that one because I damn sure enough can't live my life off of those $700, $800, not even $1,700 a month. Not with the way the cost of living is. But I've been following so many people on YouTube, people who got stem cell treatment, and I really, really want to get it. But once again, it's money. Um, and I've thought about taking out a loan just to, pay for it because the thing is, like, I could eventually clear out my savings account, but, I'm the type of person, like, when you save up money and then you spend it, something tragic happens. Well, that's the only just seems to happen in my life. And then it's just like now I'm stuck. But those treatments are so expensive. Like one guy, he got the treatment done in Florida. It's like a little over $20,000, and it wasn't successful. Even though everybody's body is different, but I don't. I want to get if I can get a little bit of something out of it. I'm not saying that they do it and I need to go back to 2020. If it could improve something, dry eyes, if it can improve just something like one of my eyes, and that would be great. If it can improve it to where I can go back to just daytime only and only wear my optics at night, I would be fine with that. But it's just money. It's money. There was one place that I looked up in Arizona to where they charge like $9,000 an eye, but I can't find them no more. Like every time I go to their website, it says page not found, which makes me wonder, like, was that place even legit to begin with? But I'm also following this guy who went to Thailand. Well, he's actually in there now, day 3 of getting the treatment, and you know that's a little exciting. But I don't want to fly out the country. I'm a little nervous about that. But I did look up like ticket pricing, how much it costs for a hotel, um, plane tickets and stuff like that. And you will want somebody to be with you. I mean, if I gotta be by myself, okay, it's not the end of the world. But it'd be great to have somebody with me during that journey of me injecting shit in my eyes to try to improve my eyesight. But I'm gonna wait for that. And there's so much that I want to do. Um, but there's so much that I'm like faced with. Like I do want to buy a house. I want to buy a house because for a number of reasons, really. One, with me having kids, I want to be able to leave them something that can stay in a family. You know, if I should die. And I've been talking to my oldest, she's 9, about this. And I'm just like, I want to be able to leave you guys like something that you can have with you, that can maybe potentially build wealth, you know, for you guys. Because it just irritates me that my ancestors, and I understand what we've been through, but I've heard some stories about how like people in my family owned houses, but they lost them because they wasn't doing what it is that they needed to do, and it's just like, that's that's why we can't never pass nothing on to nobody, because nobody's taking care of what it is that they need to take care of. But besides, me wanting to buy a house, I do want to be able to, you know, leave something for my kids. And I think just owning a home is just like the American dream, really. I think everybody really wants to buy a house. And rent out here is like going up. It's the sickest thing I've ever like experienced. And I'm happy that my landlord hasn't like he haven't increased my rent yet, which it makes me a little nervous because I'm always trying to do like different things with my bills. So this year I am paying my rent for 2 months. So pretty much I'm paying my doubling up my rent for 6 months. That way for the remaining 6 months I don't have to pay my rent. I don't want my landlord to think like, oh, okay, he got that money since he's paying double. So let's just raise the rent, because he could do that, even though he had to give me a notice. Like he could do that, and it'd be making me a little nervous. But and I've also been doing that with my utility bills. But what I've been doing with my utility bills, I took the average cost, like what I paid last year, and I'm just paying that amount. But what I'm looking to do is to use less energy, water, gas, you know, electric. Just just use less of everything if I can, which hopefully can save me money. On top of that, I always every year try to save at least $5,000. That way, it just feels good. So with all that, you know, this pretty much just takes me back to what is it that I want to do with the money? Do I want to use the money that I save up for a down payment, or do I want to use the money that I save up for my highs? It's a tough one. That's a tough one. You know, I had everything planned out. Real talk. I really did. Because when I first started working at the company that I work at, I had plans on going into management. And, I'm a good worker, like a really good worker. Like, people love me. Like, I'm a good worker. I just got my performance evaluation done. And even though I got a high score, I still couldn't settle for that, because it's just like, listen, do you not see what it is that I be doing in here? Like, just me coming to work is me like doing not only the right thing, but I'll be making an impact when I come to work. Like, I touch people, like I change their lives. But I had it all planned out that I was going to go into management. I was going to go to school, get my associates in business, go into management. With that, I just had that feeling that I was going to just keep moving up with the company, pay off my student loans. But life got in the way. Like, it's just, there's so many like challenges that you just have to deal with. And people, they still tell me like, you can still do it. You don't have to worry about it. And I have to explain to them, you don't understand. Being visually impaired, like, it's, I talked to one guy and he said, try not to look at it as a setback, more like, a distraction. But like, it does prevent me from doing certain things. Like going into management, I would have to like pretty much drive all the time. Like if I gotta go to meetings, what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna catch the bus. I'll be there in 2 hours, even though the meeting, start at this time. Like there's so many things. Even when I go to like meetings and stuff like that, I have to tell them like you just can't be having everything on this projector. You need to have a, a copy of it like on paper so people can take with them. Um, but I just that changed, and I got to figure out some other things that I need to do in order to better my life, my kids' life, and stuff like that. But back to the reason why I started this video. If in life you just have to have faith and hope, and try not to like worry about a lot of things, especially when you're dealing with anything in life. There's some people who's dealing with cancer, and they're really fighting. They're really fighting. We all go through things. I have to explain to my oldest, because my oldest daughter, she has selective mutism, which is like severe anxiety, and I have to explain to her like, you got to be strong, and that's another reason why I try to stay strong. And like I'm very open with everybody about my eyes. Not, I mean, it's really to help educate people, because a lot of people, they just look at people and they just be like, ain't nothing wrong with you. And it's just like, well, how do you know that? Um, so I try to like, tell my kids, take care of yourself. I'm not saying me, you know, when I was being raised eating this salty ass food I was forced to eat as a child, that played a part in my vision loss. I don't know. Me being born prematurely could have played a part. I don't know. Because I have one doctor who said that, you know, me being born prematurely played a part. Then I have another doctor saying, no, that's not the reason. So it's kind of hard to know the real reason. I just want to know, like, why? Like, I seen one doctor who had me get MRIs, and then with me getting these damn MRIs, like, I was really depressed during that time because the damn brain doctor was making it seem like I had fucking cancer. And then when I would go to my regular doctor to get my physical, they asked me about the cancer. I'm just like, yeah, he's saying that it's not growing. And then when I got a second opinion, and this guy tells me that there's nothing there, it's just like, okay, what's going on? Y'all trying to suck all this money out of me? Like, it's just, I just be thinking I've been through it. I should have sued them, but we're not even gonna get on that. We're not even gonna get on that because it's a great hospital. I'm still gonna stay with them until they start acting up. They messed up one time. They sent me to Children's Hospital to get this eye treatment because they didn't offer that there. I went there in the summertime. They were supposed to call me back when they got the results. So I went in the summer, called them in the winter time because I'm just like, these people didn't call me. Like, I was looking forward to hearing about those results because I'm just like, did something good happen? Did something bad happen? So I'm calling these people, sending them emails like, hey, what's going on? And then it had got to the point where it's just like, listen, if you guys don't care about my eye health, then I need to leave. Like, I'm not about to. Is it because you guys have too many patients? But I was touched because the eye specialist, who he specializes in the retina, he personally called me. He didn't have his assistant or anything like that. He personally called me to explain what happened and how my paperwork was just sitting on a pile of other stuff with no information like addressed to who or who. I mean, even though it's just like, you don't know what to believe. But I was still moved by the fact that he called me. And I mean, even though he was just like, if you still want to leave, the doctor Like, because I even looked up another doctor. I'm just like, just send all my stuff to these people. And like, he was just like, if you want to go, that doctor's a great guy, but so long story, I'm still with the same eye people. And like, he tried to help me out, and it sucks because you try to expect people to understand what you're going through, but they won't be able to. Even though my eye doctor is like there, like he's like, looking over this. I don't want to say they don't care. It's just that since they really don't have to go through this, at the end of the day, this is not their vision, their eyesight. It's just like, I don't think they care too much, if that makes sense. Now, I've came across some eye doctors who like really care. Like when I went to go um, do my vision test at the eye place, the guy that was helping me, he was just like really like apologetic, as if he like is the reason why my vision was like this. And it was touching because it's just like, this is a person who cares. Like he like really was fighting hard for me to, to help me just see a tad bit better. He was just like, let's just get this a tad bit better. Like, let's rest, you know. And then you got some doctors, and it's not only ones who specializes in the eye. It's like any doctors, even the general health doctors, they go so damn fast, they don't really want to take the time to like get to know you, to figure out what your situation is, to see how they can better you. They be trying to fly through this stuff you know, like they're about to get off in a couple minutes. They'd be like, okay, so we're doing your eyes. One, two or three, three or four. And it's just like I have to tell my eye doctor, I'm just like, listen, you change it from this one to two, two to three, three to four. I'm just like, you gotta let my eyes focus. That way I can tell if this is a better prescription or not. And then, even with my general health doctor, it's just like, can you hear me? Like, hear me out. Let me explain to you what it is that I'm dealing with. That way you can stop just assuming that it's this, when in reality it's not. But, you know, other than that, everybody, just stay strong, stay positive. Whatever you're going through, you know, make sure you have somebody to talk to, especially a person who understands. Not everybody's going to understand you, your story, what it is that you're going through. Some people, they just like, they don't ignore it because they don't care. Because I think they do care. I think they ignore it because it's just like, well, damn, there is nothing I can do to help them. Even though it is, just like, listen, and just tell them that it'll be okay. But, I'm gonna make sure that I post a couple more videos throughout the year, let you guys know exactly what's going on. Maybe I might become rich, win a Powerball if I play it on the Mega Millions. Shit, because if I win like a jackpot, at least 500 million, I'm taking at least 20 people with me to get this stem cell treatment. If you can like really make an impact, that's some stuff that you do. You can really change a person's life forever. But I really do think that, with all this science and technology, and different countries need to like share more like, resources and stuff like that, because you can't tell me that you haven't figured out a way to beat cancer. They just came out with something saying that they were able to, a person had AIDS and something to where now they don't got AIDS no more. Like, there ain't anything that you guys can do to heal a person. I don't know. I just be thinking the most, thinking that they do know, only but they only just give that information to a select few people. But that's pretty much it. You know, leave a comment if you have any questions. Um, yep, yeah, all right.